your clocks forward. Jump forward.
Into class.
Forward with your workout. At crunch.
I'm starting to promote crunch.
No, I'm not.
I said I'm going. I didn't say nothing about you.
No. We're not promoting crunch. We're promoting the part that they don't control, that creative flow, and I do want to get better in that area. So I'm not going to count it all off as the crunch. Now crunch just happens to be the bang where they're coming to get it.
You record, but we ain't.
Oh wait a minute.
I mean, we're gonna cut. Always cut.
You gonna clip it?
I'm getting better at that.
You gonna clip it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I'm getting better at that though.
Now I'm gonna do my best, David, and I hope to make you proud.
It ain't nothing hard. It's only
Dave?
hard. It's only hard if you make it.
You want to know something that was truly spiritual for me? So when you used to do this when we first started a year ago, be like, oh, I'm doing yoga Sunday morning. And such. I'm like, no, they know I
Did you run it?
No, I was never out there because
I
it was
was out there.
unbelievable. I was like, this is something that I really want to embrace, but I can't be out there at 8 o'clock in the sun rising. Oh, God, that's you. Fast forward a year later, look at me.
Hey man, everything comes in your time.
That's it.
You can't never rush it.
I feel
Like,
like
that's
my
why
back creaky.
I used to feel it.
I feel like my mag's creaky. Like, it ain't creaky at the angle to y'all. Or the truth.
It is a little bit.
Yeah, this
Did you almost get far?
Look at that happy, energetic young lady with no disturbances in her sleep. That's what it looks like.
I'm finna ask you something. What be going on in y'all mentoring sessions?
Mine? Everything. I tell her about the bullshit. I tell her about everything. 'Cause I feel like it's no judgment.
Is she
I feel
your
like
therapist or your mentor?
Both of them.
all of them. I feel like you know, I voiced to her, like, I've tried, you know, encountering people and asked them to be my mentor.
Yeah.
Like in college, I asked, when I first moved back, I asked, like, people, you know, like people, I guess because they feel as if they don't want to say no, so they just say yeah. But you didn't take no initiative to, you know, like, to step into that role. So it was like, you know, bumpy, like, F it. And then she ain't really like say yeah, but she kind of stuck into it.
But I would never say no when I take
good,
the opportunity because she's such a go-getter. She really reminds me of myself. You know, it was hard not to be myself and seeing myself in her. So, I mean, it's a win-win. And she's such a go-getter. All the way. Right? I did this by myself. Yes, there's power in that. And not waiting. God will bless that. He will bless you searching and looking and doing something, not knowing what to do as opposed to sitting back and doing nothing. Right? That's
what I've been telling people. I'm like, I hate inertia. And I be in that sometimes because I be like, it's so much stuff going on. But I'm like, bro, got all these different little options, but what you gonna do? Because the little voice is getting louder now. It's like, hey, bro, alright. Because I always tell people, sometimes it might be a little crazy, but it's like I have different voices in my head. Like one of them is Maya Angelou sometimes, and then one of them is Juicy J from 3 6 Mafia.
yes, I know 3 6 Mafia.
I'm so glad to know this. Alright, so I don't have to explain.
You do not have
And then
to.
another one is like a Jamaican lady or something, but it's like they done quieted it down a little bit, but now it's like me, but it's like, hey, so what are you gonna do?
Right.
Even though everything is like, yeah, we got it, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Right. Now it's like, alright, you gonna have to goddamn do something.
And you gotta do something. It's not an option to do nothing. You guys know that song, Billie Eilish? I got everything I wanted. I don't listen to it like that either. But she said, I got everything I wanted. I said, I got everything I wanted. And so ultimately, the song is about getting everything you wanted, or you want, but it not turning out in the way that you wanted it to turn out. And so what do you
You
do?
thought it was gonna be like,
Yes.
yo. That's why
I want a child. Bree said the other day, I want a big house. She said, I want a big house. You remind me of it. So you know, the bigger that house is, the more your responsibilities are.
Facts.
The man too, because he's not just sitting up Broad chest looking good. He's got to work.
These are the facts.
Cut the grass. You upstairs cleaning. And don't have 2 children.
My 2 twins standard poodles.
That's what she said.
So what?
My 2 twins standard poodles.
Stand up.
Work.
These are the facts. But I mean, a lot of, like, I feel like too, if you, those things that you ask for, you gotta know what's gonna come with that already. And then it's like, are you willing to do it? If you willing to do it, you'll get it.
You get it. Sacrifice.
Like my biggest thing lately is like, I think I told you this last week. I'm like, or Friday, I'm like, hey, I think I might be allergic to weed.
Yeah.
For real. Or it only happened in the spring. It only happened in the spring. And I'm just like, all right, you probably just gonna have to cut it all the way out. And everything has been lining up to do it almost too, cause like my edible lady, she just stopped me.
When the universe is talking like that,
He loud. Yeah.
and you don't want to listen, there are consequences.
Facts.
There are
That's
consequences.
one thing my dad always told me. I remember this in like 3. There's certain things that he always say, but one of them was like, "With every action comes consequence every time." So I be watching what I do, but at the same time, it's like the people that got where they want, they took. I mean, you can say they took risks, but like ain't no playing by the rules, especially if you're in America. But I'll be like, all right, but I look like me. I pass off. White people love me weirdly. It's a little scary sometimes, but I'll be like, all right, so you're gonna have to break a rule, but it's like nobody can know. But it's like, the karma always come with certain stuff, but it's like, how you gonna? So I be in those. I try to make sure I don't sit too much, but it's like, man, what is it?
Your T's, your I's, all of them dotted. Crossing them. It's not a game.
Facts. Let's get to this session.
Ooh,
Good little church.
we did. Hallelujah.
Honestly.
You still ain't say what you be doing in the mentor sessions though.
What?
Just, it's organic. It's just like you
Yeah,
and
it's
I.
not like
speaking. It's there.
okay, we scheduling a mentor session. It's pretty much anytime we talk, or it can be a phone call discussing.
Absolutely.
Like I ran my paragraph to her and then her mentor, because they're both.
Yes, we had one of those.
So like that, it was a conversation with just us depicting out my paragraph on how I wanted to say it. It's just that led into other things. Like it's like that. It's not nothing playing. Okay, this is gonna be our mentor session. We're gonna talk about A, B, C, and D.
Like, do y'all be going out to like lunch or something? You pull up to
We
the
haven't
office.
because COVID, so we haven't been exposed to moments like that because we're in a different genre. I'm pretty sure if the COVID were not as rampant from the start of our relationship up until now, I'm pretty sure we would have opportunities to explore. But there was one Saturday where we kind of just met up with the C.H.I.L.L, and I really enjoyed that. Like she doesn't understand that she pulled me away, and even with the yoga session this morning, a lot of other underlying things going on right now, right? But having me to focus on me, she shows me again how to focus on me. And it's not meaning that I'm not focusing on my house, but it's good for me to focus on me. It's still good for me to dream. I see when I look at, you guys make me do this. I see dreams, I see aspirations. That ultimately that's why I teach. Yeah, I teach fitness, but I teach English as well. So to see that in the classroom, in any kind of room where learning and growing is taking place, it's a win-win. If I do that for the rest of my life, I will never be poor. It's real. Bree, don't you
I don't
stop.
like talking. I be about to cry.
Because
and
she
then it's
does.
like she sees. I'm not gonna say I have a facade up when I step into the world, but I feel like, okay, yeah, it's like if I go to the store, if I go to the gym, I've told you all several times, like being in the gym because it's like a natural habitat for me. Y'all been able to see this in the natural form, but it's like when I talk to her, it's like she gets the rawest form. Like anything I'm feeling, or so and so approach me this way, like she gets it, like because I know it's no judgment zone. Like I know she does it intentionally. If she does have a little judgment, a little speck of her mind back there, it's not projected off to me, and I feel like that's why I'm able to like open up more, or this is what I want to do. And it's no like envious. It's people that's older than us. We talk about this all the time. It's people that's older than us that don't want us to win. or don't want us to get us this far, or we in the same industry. I know I don't want you to, overexceed me.
That's weird.
So it's like, I don't get that with her.
Weird. Like, why can't you let somebody?
But like I already told her, like, it's a reason why certain people don't like you, because every energy isn't meant to. Every energy isn't supposed to be meant to mesh together.
It's like, man, who she thinks she is?
Yeah.
And that's such a raw deal. That's such a raw deal and time wasted. That's my biggest thing about wasted time.
Right here.
It is. That's why I'm like, let's see where this goes.
Right. Wasted time. Wasted time. I was getting out the car. Was that Monday morning? Thursday morning? He said, "What you parked so far out for?"
That was Friday morning.
Friday morning.
So I was coming to your class.
And she was like, bing.
No. It probably was Thursday because I was training. That was in the class I went to. I was about to get on the floor to train. Yeah, it was Thursday.
So what?
Yes.
You said.
She said, bing. She said something like the light came on, bing. And then it kind of like she was my battery. Cause I had it. I got up out of bed. It's Thursday. Thursday's a different class. It's a later time in the morning for me. And she just put me back in check. She was like, "What you parking so far?" I was like, "I had to because, my husband was like, they got you." And I was like, "Well, how did that happen from Sunday to this day? 3 days. I've only done X, Y, Z." She was like, "Yeah, they are gonna do you like that. Yeah. You know they doing you like that. So that's what you're gonna have to do. It comes with the territory. I got everything I wanted. Now what you gonna do? Deal with it. You said you wanted to be married. You waited for him for 9 years.
Get what you asked.
Yeah. What you gonna do now? You said you wanted a baby. You said you wanted twins. I'm not that crazy to give you twins right now, but I will give you this one. For a moment. What you gonna do? So I try to remain in a state of gratefulness and consciousness about what it would have been like to not have either of those entities in my life, but still remain true to who I am and what I represent.
I be thinking about that too, because it's like, all right, you want this in life, but it's like, I'm a different individual. I mean, we all different, but I'm like, I'm very different for like
Unique.
black man, especially like.
You are, even before I met you.
Ish,
I was like, I would like to write, I would like to listen.
What?
Just listen. You know how you just get a feel? Just listen.
Yeah.
But our schedules,
I said, since we all walked in that room, open out all the black people. Cause I know I was like, right there.
And they're all over there, so we were in different places, right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing how you still remember this after a year, but that's because it's energy.
It is.
And Tay was over there, Tay was back here too, right? And we all had to come in being pressed in a time of COVID. And that's the thing about it. I said, walk out, Peter. Don't look down. So we came in this room knowing that COVID cases were rising. So we were still coming here in the midst of our fear. But what we wanted was greater than what we feared.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because most people, there were a lot of people who started in here that I don't see anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't see them because I don't see them.
You don't see them because they're not here. Right?
Especially front desk people kind of don't count.
They change out, but I'm talking like instructors who came here and for whatever reason, they either, and it's not a right or a wrong, it's just what works best for you.
Right.
So, being here and then surviving this, there's a camaraderie that comes with that when you overcome something in the midst of a pandemic. And so the same that I'm trying to survive here at the jail, I take those same concepts back to my family, because it's been hard. You got a baby who doesn't understand. When he prays, he says, "And God, please let that old virus leave. Please let it leave so we can go back." I mean, it's so pure.
Facts.
And so you just stay real in it.
Yeah.
You just stay really real in it. And he doesn't know. When I drop him off, sometimes I have to sit to the side and say, "Okay, I know you got this. Keep him away from this person. Let him be okay from touching this person. Will he put his hand in his mouth?" All these
It's so
things.
weird.
And likewise, when I leave here at 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, when I leave, and the first thing he wants to do is grab me, and I'm like, wait.
Man, he going for reflex.
Right. So it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dope. Alright, cool. That was cool. I'm sitting there all day.
I would love to meditate and marinate on it and see where we were last Sunday in our thoughts. Yes, it's nothing like reflection. Yes.
Because that's the only way you learn.
That's it.
But we each other's reflections too, I was trying to tell
Come
you.
on. Yeah. If I am a reflection of you, listen, I see my child, I said, he's the best of both of us. He's the best entities, the best parts of both of us. He makes me realize just how flying.
That's good to know.
He is.
It's like, dang, he kind of
Even his coolness when he wants to get, the other day I was freestyling and I did one like 6 lines long. He was like, Mom,
Someone
you know
got some
how to.
bars.
And he was looking like, Mom, I didn't even know you could do that. Where do you think you got it from? Where do you think?
That's funny, bro.
Wow, find a reflection of you. Andy Del Reese said.
I listened to I finally listened to Big Sean's interview. Only because you know it's hour long, so I really wanted to like sit in. I had to send it to you. He talks about like depression and how he goes through all that. But it was one thing that I say since we're talking about children. When in the interview he talks about you know how like children, because they're not exposed to like certain things, like certain aspects of the world, that they're just so pure and like, and you know, even when you talk about hatefulness, like you have to be taught that, you know, you have to be shaped up to believe like to hate so and so or to do this and other. And it was a part on the interview when it said like, I wish more people, cause you know when you're a child, you shoot for beyond the stars. I want to be this. I want to be this. Versus now, you know, because we adults and we like grown, it's like, you know, should I do this? Or you know, it's like doubts, you know, all that. Versus child, oh, I can do that, and if I can't do it, I'm gonna find a way how to do it. And in the interview, if you probably recall too, when they talked about, we wish more like as adults that we can keep that childlike. Instead of the childishness. When it was childlike versus childishness.
I remember that part. I try to keep that as much as I can, but it's like, alright. But I mean, like, with this self-reflection on myself, I'll be like, because I do yoga for a lot of different reasons now, more than just body. That's where it started at, and then I just went into a rabbit hole. But it's like, it's a purification thing. It's body purification, but it's a mind thing too. Like when you get into philosophy of it. So I be saying that it's like, alright, so with that, the childlike and the childish is like, alright, now it's organizing it. Like, alright, now you're gonna have to get away with that. But some like my best friend in like 15 years, she was like, I'm not fucking with you. And then second, I'm like, alright. But now I got to that alright, cool, because I still feel the way about it sometimes, but it's like, man, like I lost my favorite uncle a few years ago. So after that, I was like, bro, a lot of this other stuff. Like, alright, cool.
Once you get a certain category of hurt.
Yeah, it's like, that didn't hurt that bad. And I'm like, he had a whole lot going on. Like, he had HIV, you know what I'm saying? So, but he had a certain dimension too. So with that, it was like, bro, all of that happened. And then how I found out and when I found out, it was weird. Like, cause I was in school, just got to school, folks just broke up. They literally, the day I graduated, nuclear family did it. It was weird. So it's like, alright,
The timing.
yeah. So that happened. But then with my uncle, when I found out about that, because he had not called me, he was always like, hey, hit me up if you ever just want to talk or something. I'm like, man, he ain't been hit me up. I said, Christmas gift. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, dang. And they told me, I was like, what? It was so weird. So like, that was a pain. And my mom was like, hey, you he will always remember anything that we would do or something like that. Everybody else was like, I don't know. But that pain and difference, and then when my friend was like, bro, I don't even want to say I'm numb and nothing, but it's like, bro, alright. Because it was like, it could have been minuscule. You could even explain it, but it's like, especially if you don't want to explain nothing, it's like, I can't even care.
Okay, I think you're talking to me. I almost want to get up and run, but I'm not. I'm going to sit in it because that's where the growth is. I didn't necessarily do those things in that order, but what I did do for one of the first times, I haven't done it more than this time, I put myself first, and I observed relationships and their values and the timing, because there were a lot of people who were conducive before I had children. I had a child rather, and they were conducive for me when I was 20 something, 30 and 40. Now, one of my close, I guess you could say closest friends, and the word that everybody uses now is ghost. I would never say ghost, but what I had to do was create a space where I didn't owe anybody an explanation, because you've done several things that I didn't warrant an explanation from you. It was just unconditional. I loved you the way Christ showed me how to love. And that's okay, because some things you don't even need explained.
Right.
But I got to a place within this journey where from one Christmas, from not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that, to this Christmas that we've just passed, and I said, what I'm giving, I'm not getting back. When I call, I don't. We would have, it would be something comparable to this, right? But just the two of us. And we wouldn't always read the Bible. Oftentimes it was life experiences compared to what the messages, the true messages were within those experiences, and taking the message and making us better, right? Like implementing it the next Monday. We're talking on the phone Sunday, and Monday we start anew. But then I realized that I'd had more moments where I felt bad for doing what I wanted to do and doing the right thing. And I couldn't understand, it was making me feel even further away from my identity. You know, there's a certain thing that you get that you feel when you've done something good.
Right.
And every time I would try to do this, it would always be a feeling where I'm feeling like, oh, do I need, like I'm questioning myself. And that question led over into this area of my life when I would come to the gym. Cause like we're besties, but we only see each other maybe 2 times a year, right? And I'll just give you one example. So, inspirational message, I would send her something, and she would reply something like, Renee, what do you mean? Is it because I said such and such, such and such? And I'm like, girl, all I said was something like, we gonna be all right. The Lord said this or something, you know, it wouldn't be like where I'm trying to tear her apart and bring out all the negative or the things that she would need to improve or should want to improve on. Nothing like that, because that's for you to reflect on. That's not for me to point out.
And then that's where the question comes in. It's like, are people doing they reflecting?
Are we truly reflecting?
Especially right now, they're not, because the only thing they're reflecting off is Black Mirror.
And that was one of the things that every time we would get there, David, every time we would get there, I would say, you know, okay, so one of the things I say, girl, I want you to make an Instagram account, because I know with everything, there's a good and a bad of everything. And I know the media likes to say that Instagram is all of this, but it's truly not. There are things out there that really and truly inspire you and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, I don't know, and every time I would try to do something to move us forward, because like I said, we don't see each other but maybe 2 times a year. Sometimes we didn't even see each other last year. And every time I would bring something forward that we could reconnect beyond our conversations, you never wanted to grow. And so I thought, maybe our stage and our season is over with, at least for right now.
It could be that, and sometimes but I done got to the point where it's like, man, shit, if it's over, I don't even know how am I gonna interpret if it's a time to even come back, because
That's
people
me.
try to come back and I just be like, man,
Everything coincides with one another. That's just when I was talking. Remember about like, at some point in time, I can't always be the leader. I can't always be the motivator.
That's
I
it.
can't be always the one that's motivating the circle. I gotta
Everybody's
be around
drained.
people. Yeah, like everybody want to get me. Why?
And that's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. But let me tell you, since I made this, I consciously made this thing. I didn't say anything ugly. I didn't do anything ugly. I did me. I said, okay, I'm reaching out. You know, I just want to make sure that you and your family are doing well. We love you guys. I sent her a picture of us at Christmas time with the baby. And so she responded. She said, okay, well, I was just calling to check on you guys. And I didn't know how to say, I'm no longer going to put myself in this place to continue, for you to continue to make me feel the way you're making me feel. I would say, hey, sister. I greet about 5 people like that. I greeted you like that. Hey, sister. She said, hey, Renee.
cordial professional. I know you.
That's not okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's not.
That was like
that
stabbing
hurt.
me in my heart.
It's like, damn, you just shot me.
So I did it again. I said, okay, hey, sister. Hey, Renee. And then she sent out, this is what did the deal. She said, she and another one of her friends, they sent out this thing saying that they would have a universal prayer on February 20th. And I thought, I tried to do all of these things with us. I mean, podcast, Instagram, let's do this, let's figure out this, let's do this, let's just have on Sunday morning, we can get a whole bunch of our girlfriends and talk about these things, because other women are thinking and they need these things as well. But every time I would bring it to you, you would always freeze up or give me a reason why it wouldn't work and stunt my growth and stunt
Shine.
my...
You know you're gonna shine
Stunt,
hard.
but we shine the brightest when we're together. I'm telling you, that is my
People
sister.
don't be seeing that.
Yeah,
Look, let me.
I was reflecting too this morning. I'm like, crazy. That is crazy.
She would say no, and then when she had the audacity to get the strength, the desire, the organization to send this text out, I thought, okay, well maybe it just feels easier with someone else, and I'll give you an opportunity to get that done.
It's crazy. I was reflecting this morning, right before we got here, about how, like, don't get me wrong, I don't seek validation. I don't need nobody to praise me. I don't need nobody to be proud of me, because I can do that for myself. But it's not enough females just talking because I'm a female. We always talk about our community too. But just females, period. Like, it's not enough females empowering one another. It's like you gotta step on another female to get to the top. And that's not true. I feel like, remember, just about the situation you already know when we was talking in the ride room. We could be better at a power pack together, but yet you wanna, you know what I'm saying, shun me out or make me feel this way because you don't like the energy that I bring today or that I have around me. If anything, we could be a power pack together.
And most of the time, if you would just sit down and have a conversation like you and I praise God, because listen, I would have never been in the opportunity to get to know any of you guys better had I been teaching to the degree to which, I'm talking about teaching English in school, in the traditional classroom. None of this would have been able to happen. I feel like truly it reignited me and plugged me back in. I was so grateful to get, like I often say in the group meet, my fitness family. I was in this mug drowning, like, hey, you want to work? Begging people, you want to work out? like what I like. We like planks. No, Renee, we don't like planks. And so to finally connect with more than one person, more than a half of an individual who truly enjoys and embodies and encompasses some of the goals and desires that I want to, even if it's not the same avenue we're taking, we still. I'm grateful. Woo! that was a lot, David.
All
You
right,
just
so
talked me.
Let me get mine.
All right, come on with it.
So with the situation with me and my friend, we supposed to have this company together. Now it's supposed to be three of us, but one homie, I think he always been. All right, people think I'm left. He a little more left, you know. But I kind of expected that, but it's always love between me and him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, and there's never not love between the three of us or none of that anyway. But I already knew he was gonna die, so me and her, we were like, all right, we're gonna do this, this, and that. All right, cool. But didn't nobody want to do nothing when I wanted to start doing stuff. So I was like, all right, so I just take it upon myself to I gotta do this. Someone telling me to do something. I gotta do something.
Yes.
I can't wait on you. I'm not, because if you wait on yourself, that's that inertia that I was talking about. You just sitting there. No, you can't do that. And especially right now in a pandemic, and they like, you know, Gunna called it a panoramic on social media. I like calling it that because it's like, all right, you really get to see everything now. You in the panoramic. It's like,
Ooh, that
Now
panorama.
you gotta
Yes.
change to have a whole new perspective on the same things you've been looking at, but now you gotta look at it with a different view because
it's
something
like,
else that came in.
Exactly. So with that, everything, and then things started lining up how exactly we wanted stuff to go to, like what we want to do. So me teaching yoga, but we want to grow food and like do all this other stuff. So I had land, pretty much start a city before it was like kind of popular before it happened. So stuff started lining up. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm like, oh shit. Sound like, we so similar. It's weird. It's so similar. Cause we'll be. She lives in Nashville, but she got folks here in the Tuskegee. So when she come down, we link. Exactly what I'm going through, she going through. Weirdly. So I'm like, all right, but at the same time, right when I'm elevating or doing something that's related to the main thing, she doing the same thing. I'm like, all right, so I don't even have to ask questions with you like that until we link and get to where we need to do this, and that. So something big had came randomly off of Twitter. That's why I say that's my favorite social media app because it's the funniest place in the world. But you can link with people on Instagram, but it's like you're not seeing no pictures. People can promote whatever they want on Instagram. You can promote whatever on anything, but it's like depending on what you're doing and follow people for, it's a thing.
Yes, your purpose.
Exactly. So I was teaching a class one day, and my music, I usually just have music on YouTube or whatever. I don't have the YouTube Red, which I need to get, but she had texted me, and then she had called, and I'm like, she kind of already know I'm teaching her this stuff. But I'm in my head, I'm like, people know what I'm doing. I'm like, all right, so this must be something. And I get to my phone, somebody had said they had like some land in Alabama, and they ain't know what to do with it.
Get up out of here.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so I'm looking at it. I was like, damn, I don't follow this person, but I follow the person that originally.
You don't make me run around. Bring what you tell him I'm about to put my shoes on.
They had originally asked, so that we originally mutually followed because that person does a lot of what we want to do. So the other person, she get in contact with her. They swapping and texting, and then she was like, "Hey, my friend, me, is in Alabama. Sending this." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I'm looking at it. I'm like, "All right." So I don't know why, but she know that's more so the lane that she gonna be doing more, the real estate in the land. Even though I'm working on getting my license now, because like I said, I can't wait on nobody. I don't like waiting on nobody, especially after what I've seen and learned. So I was like, all right, cool. They hit me up more so because I'm here. I don't mind that, but I'm like, I'm not gonna do me just being who I am in love. I'm not gonna move without you, dog. I'm not. And then I'm posting more stuff on what I'm doing, and the things are starting to go up a little bit, even though it's just small and incremental. I know it's like that's all it takes.
Steady and easy.
I've had a YouTube channel for like 20, 15 15, 16. I just hit 100 followers like last
That's
September.
all right. Me
But
too.
I'm at
Tell them about Baby Bird.
but I'm at like 300.
29.
I'm at almost at like 400 now.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I was like, all right, incremental. So I'm like, all right.
Little bitty steps over a long
Every
Exactly.
win is a win. We've been conditioned to not celebrate the little things, but the little things get you to the big things.
Facts, like a step. One of the Lao Tzu says something like for every journey, for 1,000 steps, it takes a step. It start with a step or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, but in my head, I feel like I don't have to everything else that link. I don't have to say nothing. You know, I'm not gonna move without you. I'm telling you, I'm like, all right, so we trying to meet with this person. Then it's like we keep missing a date, but everything ain't working. But even if I go and I look at it, you are always in mind anyway. I feel like I'm not a selfish person. I never have been. This is why I've been learning. Your ass need to be more.
Well, you know, a part of that interview was selfish and self-care.
Selfless, yes.
We misconstrue the selfishness
Facts.
for
And
self-care.
And I've been getting better at it, more so too. And it's like, all right. And then out of
We're
nowhere,
more selfish because we are able to take care of self.
facts.
Truly.
In the right way that we
Yeah,
think.
in the right way.
Because I feel like sometimes, yeah, massage good, because I get one every 2 weeks. I got one coming up Friday.
What we going with? Because I need to go somewhere.
Oh, okay, alright.
I was saying, where we going?
Oh, no, this was, I thought you said I need to go and work out or something, but,
No, you said Friday you got a massage, right?
Yeah.
I said, where you going?
oh, this somebody I used to work with at massaging me, so.
Look, you said massage, Bree, and I clicked. Okay.
I can link you to
Self-care.
her. I can link you to her.
Yeah, self-care.
But I was like, yeah, the massage girl was like, man, you got the journal, but you need to write a little more.
Come, David, you're gonna have to say something. I'm gonna get up because writing is important. Because it's about reflection.
It is. And then sometimes too, I was like, man, because philosophy is one of my favorite things. So I always randomly think this. I always say I lived in Warner Robins, Georgia.
I'm about to leave.
For 2 years.
Are you about to leave?
So my mother-in-law, I know nobody else could do this. Out of all the places you could say in Georgia,
Bro, middle Georgia.
my mother-in-law just moved from Warner Robins.
Where she moved to?
She moved back here to Montgomery. Bless our hearts. And the journey that we've been on as a family has taught me a lot about myself. But there's certain intricate moments of this story that's hidden, and I'm trying to wonder why. What are you doing with this, God? Where are you going with this? I keep saying I'm not going to move without you. And I can tell myself I'm not going to move without you, God. Right now in this panorama.
Facts.
I've seen so much. I begged. I was in a stage where I kept saying, "Show me, show me, show me, show me." We're gonna
Showing you the whole
enlightenment.
answer.
Like, now we're like, I don't even want to see.
Like right here.
Right? I don't even want to. You know. And so even from this experience this morning that I'm here this morning with you guys. I didn't see this. Me leaving my house, and I know that in order for me to get to the next part of the journey, I'm gonna have to do something.
And that's coming with the yoga and the purification. It's like I always tell, like, cause I just got done reading the whole Bible last. I think it might have been 19. But I think and looked at things differently too. Like my partner always say this, and I've learned this, and stuff that we listen to say, if the beliefs that you have, you got to be able to look at them from the outside, looking in, and then break them down and really dissect it. It's like, do I need to believe this, or watch it and look at it differently? So I seen the Bible differently, and I do like this from time to time. So I had to say that.
But that's okay.
see
some of
that
that
shit.
happen. It's about your vision.
Exactly. So I
Listen, that does not scare me off. It doesn't show me off.
I
There
had
are
to
a lot
throw
of
it out
other. Listen.
because sometimes
When you go into sometimes this is my cycle.
and that's good because I'm finna go clean on weed and probably that's
Because
up
people-
because I'm getting to the point where I can see that shit anyway.
And sometimes you have to create it for yourself. Oftentimes, the people will be like, Renee, you're just like a child yourself. Stay that way. And that's why it makes it a little bit more challenging for people to even approach me because you're probably not going to get the real part. You're probably not going to get the real part. It's probably going to be a journey for you to get past certain layers. But once you do, then you'll have a better understanding. And that's what Brie was talking about, creating a space by which we have a level of comfort to go on that journey, to search with other women. Hey, we may not do this like, I may not like that lipstick, or I may not wear that kind of lipstick, or you may not dress like,
But we can mesh.
but we can mesh, right? And on that journey. And so,
I come back with that.
creating that space where you can see, because like you talked about that 4, that 6 o'clock. So I've got this book that tells me that I should be getting up. My sign is an Aquarius, and when I start talking about this, people are like, oh, I said, I don't put this stuff before God. I'm just telling you, there are certain entities that support an Aquarius being like this, and this.
Tell you about yourself.
One of the things is this water. I'm a water sign. You're never gonna see
I
me
am
without
too.
a water. Brie, have you ever seen me without a water bottle?
No, I'm not a water sign though.
What are
She
you?
is.
I'm earth sign. Think so? Yeah, I'm earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm earth. I'm a Capricorn. I'm earth sign.
Wow, that's what my husband is.
Are they similar?
Very. Very. That's exactly
Not the
what
calm.
my
I'm
husband
just like, I ain't the calm. I'm just like, not how
Yes.
you say your husband.
And that's what I always tell her. I was like, Bree, you're so cool with that thing. You're so such and such, such and such. But me, I'm cool with it until you keep confirming that what I don't want to believe. And then by the time I believe it,
Yeah.
it's best for me to just keep on moving. Like you said, I don't even know if I want to get it back because if it brings out that part of me, the best part of me is about my passion and my commitment and my loyalty. But it can be flipped around, and I have to cut you. But if I have a desire to cut you, that means you're bringing out the worst in me.
Yeah.
And so I have to be disciplined enough to withdraw myself. Because you're not gonna do
Remember we was just talking about people do certain things to get a reaction out of you.
reactive.
Man, listen.
I can't wait to get this so I
Just
can
like-
watch my own podcast over and over
It's
again.
just like when my weed lady said she got stopped and everything cut
Come
off
on.
cold. I was like, damn, alright. But at the same time too, like, I'm not gonna get into that.
You was talking, I was like, what the
I got where you're going.
But I was like, alright,
The timing, the positioning.
yeah.
He didn't say forever, but he honors when you're able to show that commitment
Yeah.
and that discipline, which is what I have. He said, if you truly, really want it, these are the times in which you can do it.
Right.
Now
And
you
what
said
better
you
time in a panorama.
better time.
We ain't talking about this, remember?
Yeah.
I tried to drop on this day. I tried to drop on this one. We're finally here. It's coming. It's finally coming. But, it's the reason why it's not working out on my time.
Come
God
on.
got something planned that I can't even comprehend.
And I'm
so
so
that's why
grateful.
Yeah.
Because if I had gotten it before,
I wouldn't have been appreciative as I am of it.
Right.
And it wouldn't feel as good as it does now.
Right. And I've been thinking that too with like the land situation in the home we had.
I wouldn't have known what to do with it.
It was a good amount of acres, and it wasn't far either. Cause I was getting excited. I was like, she said it was in Lowndes County, and I said, God, I looked up when I saw it, and I said, God, I think I know what Lowndes County is, but I'm finna Google. It's right there. It's like going west.
Right.
I was like, and she said, I was like, okay. I was like, I'm getting excited because I was like, it could be on the other side, but I was like, I don't think it is. How far is it from Montgomery? She was like 30, 45 minutes. I said, I looked up again. I said, this shit real, huh? All right. figure out when we're gonna look at it and stuff like that. Everything is, and now it's like, alright, I'm not fucking with you, or she don't want nothing to do with what we got going on. And I felt like too, it's like, alright, you too with that. Cool. Now I'm like,
And maybe that's all she was supposed to do was bring that.
yeah, and
What
but
about
at the same
she's
time,
being
what she had
obedient?
just said, I was like, alright, something bigger and better could even
Come on.
be from better than what this is. You know
She
what I'm
did
saying?
just what she was supposed to do.
Yeah.
I can't.
You never know. And I don't never, cause I'm not, I always tell people, I'm like, if I just told you I love you, like, you're my friend of 15 years. If I just said that, I can't shit on you. Even if you do some shit, I can't do that. That's not in me.
That's
That's
because
not my-
I can't treat you like that.
Not unless you in my face, like, we can get, I don't hit women. She's gay.
That's
She
okay.
play ball at UA, so you can see where I'm going with that. But I'm just like, she would do that in a way, so I feel like, I'm not saying that I would initially show, but I'm like, if you do that, it's gonna get bad. But I'm not gonna do that. I'll just keep it where it's at. Cause I mean, shoot, bro, I know your family. You know what I'm saying? I know your grandma who been sick. I know your family.
And
I
you know,
can't- I can't shit on
you know what you know, but here the things that you don't know, you can trust those as well. You can trust the part of the picture that hasn't been bubbled in.
Yeah.
You can trust in the future. You can trust that
Exactly.
and know that God is working what you have right now with it. Even if He showed me a little peek, I'm all about God. Listen, you don't have to give me the full thing.
Sure, man. I done seen
If
it.
you just let me see a peek of anything, right?
Trust me.
Let me tell you something. When I saw the sonogram of a little baby on the inside, you like, oh, I'm pregnant. They say you're pregnant, but until you actually, when we went there, so I think you have to wait like 6 or 9 weeks, and then, never really knowing what to do, how to do, because my mom and my dad, I didn't grow up with my mom and dad together. I know what a woman does. I'm still figuring it out. And being able to enjoy that process with Quincy, going to the doctor's appointment, actually seeing the thing on the screen, because he's cool now. Like
She's a baby now, huh?
he's cool. He never even set up. He was like this the whole thing, back in the chair like this. And I'm like,
What's going on in your
she's
head?
like, no, you got on there. I'm like, what? That's and so we get the pictures, we're getting ready to go home, and we get ready to go and distribute the news to our families. And most importantly, confirm it with the picture.
Right.
Man, that's what I'm talking about, just a little bit. He's in there, he's moving, he's growing. Then when we see he has these big, because I have big feet, I have size 10 feet, right? I got big feet, right? And my brother confirms, he's like, oh yeah, that's him. It's him, because look at that big old foot, Renee. He's not going to even be able to wear it.
Dang.
So just a little bit of confirmations along, and then we never know, because best friend probably had just done all she was supposed to do within that phase. You know how everybody's rolling out their get back to normal pandemic, and everybody wants to address it in phases. And Dr. Fauci was talking last week about the rate going from the red to the yellow to the blue to the green and all these different levels, and I started visioning and thinking things in my head. What phase are we going to? What phase am I in? And the only person who truly knows and can confirm that is God. And so listening, being able to feel when he's moving, being able to feel when he's shaking and when he's moving and when he's shaking it, I'm okay because I'm on solid ground. It's just moving around. You're fine, girl. You're fine.
And that go back to that self part.
You not just don't let go. Don't you let go.
Big ass fact.
You're fine. Look, it feels like it, but it's not. There's nothing that's taking you out. Like even with the baby, even with the exercise, even with coming back to me, no pun, but when you're young and you start with an amazing body, that's cool. Oh, you do biceps. Oh, you do your abs. Oh, you do, lift your knees, bring your knees forward. You look in that mirror and you're like,
I'm not me no more.
and you see all these things from where you used to be, but where you are. You don't have a lot of things to support where you are, but you do have the process to understand that this is the place and how you got there. My exercise and fitness journey and desire to take people from this place to this place has strictly been intensified. It was nothing like when I started, so I could have started this journey earlier, but I truly wouldn't have had the resources and the things that I need as far as giving birth that almost killed me. You don't know how strong you are. That's what I say in my head class. You don't know how strong you are until you have somebody trying to knock you down. Do you have something trying to knock you down? That's when you can demonstrate your real strength. And so being in a place where, because they were like, it got really bad. Like I thought I was gonna have no child. It got really bad. I said, Lord, if you don't give me nothing else. So even though he's let certain things fall, since then, all I can go back is to my original promise and what I told him. I'm not mad at the things that you took away, but I'm so grateful for what you left. Because Bree, I wouldn't even be what I asked for. You couldn't even, I got everything that. Bree, I wouldn't even be, because I think I got the biggest heart. I think I'm loyal. I'm committed. I think I'm the best friend anyone could have. But having this baby has truly taught me how to love. Like I like Lil Wayne song.
Lil Wayne song? How do you?
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna say like music, Soul Tribe or something. Lil Wayne's.
Because you gotta,
Weezy.
baby. Listen.
And the F stands for.
And the F stands for 42. No, but listen, it's all about those things that he talks about. You guys know what he's talking about in those songs. And having adversities and being able to figure out how to do something.
With a maze.
Because love to me might be this, and those love languages. Let's not even talk about it. You guys
That's a
already know.
different podcast.
Right.
Different
Episode.
podcast.
Right. So at this point, I think you guys got the best possible version of Felicia Renee with the child. Because they probably were round with the child. You know, because I didn't have anything. I don't have
You had nothing to lose.
Get it. And so after baby, I remember them making comments, oh, it's not going to be easy to eat and do and all these things. I thought, okay, you're telling me your child's 20 and you're still talking about baby. I'll show you.
Right.
I'll show you. Now what?
Exactly.
You had a
What I told you the
C-section?
other day.
Yes. Now what?
What I told you the other day.
What?
I saw a picture of your abs on the
Oh yeah, I told her we was in the sauna.
Listen. And that was after.
I know.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if that was after, I can only imagine what it was like before, but I can't even remember because all I remember is
Yeah. I be telling.
grateful.
I told this one chick one time her kid was 2, almost 3, and she be blaming him about the body. I was like, bro, you done had some time. You ain't even been trying to do nothing, even consistently, not even trying. So like, don't put that on him.
Right.
That be the thing. They don't do nothing consistent.
Yeah, listen.
And then you expect results. You think I'm a magician? You think I'm gonna just pop some stuff? You like, what are you?
I told my homegirl the other day, I was like, bro, if I could work out for everybody and get their results for them, I'll do that, but it don't work like that.
I'll be willing
You
to
have
put
do something.
that weight on my shoulder and grind for you.
And if I
That
had
does not happen.
a dollar for everybody trying to, hey, can you help me do with this? I already have what I'm looking for, or what I'm trying to get, but it's happening. Just wait on it.
And stay consistent and don't stop.
Get it.
Wow.
Can't stop, won't stop. Bad boy.
3-6 months ago.
Where are you from?
I'm from the country. Actually, I'm from out by Tuskegee before you get to Tuskegee. C.H.I.L.L, Alabama.
I know where Cecil's at.
Yes,
My homeboys
on the map.
folks stay over there.
My brother said, you gotta hear my brother say, it's on the map.
Some big houses in
It's on,
Cecil.
yes, it's beautiful.
Talking about-
It's beautiful. Randall Road. That's
That's
me.
my last
I'm sure I agree.
We didn't even talk about that. Randall. And I said, Bree, what's your last name? She said, Randall. I said, yep, this is who you're supposed to be with. Randall Road. That's it.
stop this and just change it to a different one.
Wow. Real.
That was dope. Man, that was damn near an hour.